going on, everyone? So, Victor Wembanyama is officially healthy. This is huge, right? Because the San Antonio Spurs need Wemby. And look, his, blood clots, no joke. I mean, we've seen that literally in careers. Chris Bosh is a great example, right? But luckily, with technology and medicine and stuff, it's not what it was even a couple years ago, right? You've seen even like Damian Lillard was able to come back. Unfortunately, he ends up tearing his Achilles, which sucks. But you see that, hey, that blood clot issue is not what it used to be, which was potentially career ending in a lot of ways. Right? So I do think that that's very beneficial to a team like the San Antonio Spurs, where it's like, okay, we can trust, it's done, it's moved on, right? But there were questions like, okay, is Wemby going to be back? Is he going to be healthy? Is he going to be right? And now we got reports that he is. He's cleared, medically cleared, ready to go basketball-wise, which is also good because the Spurs said as much, right? Like, even when Wemby sat out, they said like, hey, he's cleared. He'll be fine, right? This isn't going to be a lingering issue. This isn't going to be something that we should worry about long-term or anything like that. It's kind of just this moment, done, over with. I'm sure that they're going to monitor him over the entirety of his career. This isn't going to be something that they're just like, okay, you're good, and then, leave it alone. No, they'll probably regularly be giving him checkups just to make sure that's not, developing again or anything like that. And, hopefully that's not some, reoccurring issue that keeps popping up over the course of his career. Hopefully it's something that wipe his hands with, be done, move on, and have, a historic all-time great level of career like is expected. Because the San Antonio Spurs, look, they are very young, very talented, very gifted, right? But at the end of the day, they go as far as Wemby takes them. Wemby is the guy, right? Wemby may end up being the guy for the entire NBA, right? This is a guy that as soon as this season could end up moving into the top 5 in the league conversations, right? He's a guy that could end up being, like the face in 2 or 3 years even. Once Steph, LeBron, KD, these guys start to retire, right? There's going to be that guy or guys that end up getting propped up by the league. And Wemby very likely could end up being one of those guys and probably should be. I mean, the guy is just otherworldly, a life of his own. Like the guy has the star power, has the grit, like he wants to win. And he's a guy that I do think is going to continue to take strides and step. Not a big fan of him taking 8 threes a game. It's probably my one knock on him. Right now, I've seen people argue it's because they're developing him and stuff like that. Sure, maybe. There's also the potential that like he just is going to be an 8-3 a game guy, which is not great, right? Just because like his advantages are he's just longer and taller than everybody. I'm not saying don't take any threes, right? But like, do you really need to take half your shots from 3-point range? It'd be nice if, you were taking, a third of your shots, right? If he's taking 25 attempts a game and he wants to take 8 threes, then sure, right? But he's probably not doing that. He's probably going to be around 20 attempts a game type guy. So it's like, can you be 5? Can you be a quarter of your shots, right? You're going to have some mid-range. You're going to have, various things. Obviously, if you're like wide open, take it. But also, if he starts to develop that, then maybe that changes, right? If he's shooting 8-9 attempts, but shooting 41% from 3-point range, then it's like, yeah, take it, right? Because, he could be shooting 60% from 2-point range and he's generating more points, right? But like you look at his 3-point percentage and it's like, he's not shooting the 3 ball great. And it's like, dude, you would be a 30-point a game scorer if like half of those attempts were just 2s, right? Like if half those misses were 2s and you made them at the rate that you make them, you're like 29 to 30 points a game, right? So I want to see him this year kind of take that leap. Like, can he get to that 27 to 30 point a game a night guy, which I think is a very real possibility. Plus you add in the defensive impact, right? I mean, talk about a guy that if he can stay healthy on the basketball court and is going to win multiple defensive player of the years, all NBA, all of it. I mean, he's going to have more, accolades than he knows what to do with. Right, he's a guy that is the last thing he's going to need is another accolade, right? But he's also got to be on the basketball court, right? The best ability is availability, and obviously again the blood clot issue you can't really control. Right? It's not something that he expected. This wasn't like he just like wasn't wearing high tops and rolled his ankle, and this was something that it can't really control or expect or anticipate for. So but even going forward, you need him to be able to play at least 65 games a season. Now, you look at his rookie season, he played 71 games. The days of guys playing 82 games, especially Spurs guys playing 82 games, is in the past, right? Like, Spurs invented resting players, right? So Wemby's probably, I don't know if Wemby, maybe next year he plays 82 games just to, like on principle, but that might not even be best for the Spurs, right? Like if he's playing 70 games a season, that's fine. Get a couple nights off, get a couple rests. You know, you're dealing with a nagging injury. You don't want to make that worse. It's fine, right? Like I'm fine with him, you know, missing a couple games here and there, but you want him to play more than, 45 games. Like if he would have played 65 games this year, then defensive player of the year, right? So if he can stay out on the basketball court, make sure he's taking care of his body, getting right. You heard that he put on about 10, 15 pounds. That's great. It's what you want to hear, right? You also don't want him to lose his advantages, but if he can put a little weight, put a little muscle, kind of strengthen his body a little bit to be able to kind of handle some of the wear and tear over the course of the season, especially in the Western Conference. Think of all the big men. You got like Jokic and Ivaka Zubac and Zach Edey and, Alperen Şengün and all these guys that, operate inside and can bang with the big boys and got the weight and the size and the strength to match up, right? Wemby's going to be going up against those guys on a regular basis. I love that they went and got Luke Cornett that can slot alongside Wemby, back up Wemby. Same thing with Kelly Oubre, or not Kelly Oubre, Kelly Olynyk. And have a Kelly Olynyk in there who he can slot in and kind of do the same thing, play the 4, play the 5. So I see the shape. And if Wemby can take those strides into like the top 7 to 5 range next season, then I do think that they could be a real playoff team. I think they're a play-in team at worst. I wouldn't be shocked if they like kind of stumble face first into the actual playoffs. But I think like a play-in team is I think they're one of the top like 7 to 8 teams in the West. Like I think that's, and again, could they stumble into that 6 seed? I mean, every year there's a team that's supposed to be good that isn't, and every year there's a team that people think isn't going to be good that is, right? So could Spurs be that team that people are like, they're going to be a 9th or 10th? Like even like Bleacher Report had them like 9th. I don't think they're 9th, right? Like there's like the clear cut like 6 teams that I think are ahead of them. And then after that, I think it's kind of anyone's game. And if one of those guys end up falling down, all of a sudden the Spurs take that and get in the playoffs. Otherwise, I think they're 7th, at worst 8th. Now, depending on other teams, again, you never know until you actually get into the thick of the season. But I like the Spurs' chances. As long as they make the play-in, I'm good, right? Because I want them to get the playoff experience. Even if they lose in the play-in, right? At least they're getting that experience. At least they're getting a feel for the atmosphere. I'm not worried about Wemby. I mean, again, he was in a gold medal game against the USA Avengers. Like, he's not, like, I'm not worried about him showing up in a playoffs, right? But again, it's just different atmosphere, different environment. I want these guys, these young guys, to kind of get that experience, take that in, right? Even if it's only a game or two, even if they can just get to the playoffs, right? Let's say they are the 7th seed, and if they can win that playing game, get into the playoffs, even if they get swept and it's not even close, they just get ran through, right? Like at least again, they're getting that experience, they're kind of getting a feel for it, take it in, look around, you feel that, yeah. Like you want to be back here. I think that'd be very valuable. But I'm glad Wemby's better. Glad Wemby's healthy, and this is great because it's going to be a good season for Wemby and the Spurs. But let me know your thoughts and opinions down in the comments. That being said, if you haven't liked this video, hit that like button. Helps me out. So if you enjoy these types of videos, truly appreciate it. Not subscribe to the channel, hit that subscribe button, turn on the bell notifications. Appreciate y'all. See you in the next one.